When y'all imagine goth fashion icon, you're probably thinking Amy Lee or Joey Jordison. But I'm here to tell you you're sleeping on Duca Verbino, Guidobaldo II della Rovere. Now this is a man who knows his color is black. He was born in 1514 to a family of condottiero, which were famed military leaders of the Italian Renaissance. And as such, he has immaculate taste in art and in armor, and the pockets to afford it. But I want to talk about one of the armors he commissioned specifically that is absolutely iconic. You can see parts of it in the corners of this portrait here, but lucky for us, pieces of it still survive to this day, including this breastplate that lives in the Museo Nazionale del Bargello in Florence, this burgonet that lives in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, this left pauldron that also lives in Florence, and this right pauldron which lives in New York at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Now we know from artworks of the time that use this armor as reference that more pieces existed, including gauntlets, vambraces, cowders, tassets, but unfortunately those pieces just haven't survived to the present day. The craftsmanship in this armor is just inarguably exquisite. What is most fascinating to me is the meaning behind each of these design choices. So let's start by talking about the inscription that's on this plaque in the center of the chest. It is in Latin, and though I may be a tryhard, I will not be embarrassing myself today trying to pronounce this. However, its rough translation is, "May I not drink of Lethe, for in this river lies oblivion." Now, for those of you who are not Greek mythology geeks, let me give you the story here. In Greek mythology, when you die, you go to a place called Hades, the underworld. And once you get to the underworld, your spirit is required to drink the waters of Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, in order to not only forget your past life, but also so that the living can forget you and move on. So this plaque is a heckin' flex. It's saying, ain't nobody gonna forget about me because I'm not drinking. So with that context, the decoration of the rest of this armor starts to make some sense. It's making a couple visual references here that probably made more sense to a Renaissance person than to us. At the time, there were descriptions of the goddess of fame that matched what this armor is kind of approaching. A vast and fearful monster with watchful eye meticulously set under every feather which grows on her, and for every one of them, a tongue and a mouth which is loud of speech and an ear ever alert. There were also Renaissance stories of a legendary Islamic warrior named Rhodamante who wore a dragon hide armor covered in eyes like the wings of a seraph. So you can see how both of those descriptions are reflected in the motifs of this armor, from the furious eyes to the dragon scales to the wings. The entire design of this armor screams, I am fame, I am legend, I am unforgettable. Shameless plug that I recreated this design on tank tops, rash guards, swimsuits, dresses, so you too can be unforgettable.